because you are too pretty to be fat. Yep, just let that sink in. Yep. How my eating disorder started. So it started as a kid. I want to say I was like 8, 10 years old, around there. As a kid, I was like large, I guess you can say. Yeah, I guess I was considered large. And there was one visit to a pediatrician, to my childhood pediatrician that I went to with my mom, and I had two. One was a woman and then the other was a male. And I think the male was like the main one that like ran the practice that they were under and everything. So this day it was the male doctor that I saw with my mom, and he had told me and my mom, who was there with me, that to wait until your stomach stops growling to eat because you are too pretty to be fat. Yep, just let that sink in. Yep. A medical professional said those words to a 8, 9, 10-year-old child, and I didn't really have any say of the matter. I was a child. I didn't really have that much of a voice, and my mother's there with me. So, and also like this person's a doctor, and so I was taught that it's like, oh, this person knows what they're doing, so you listen to them, and so I did. And that is how my anorexia started, and body dysmorphia along with that. If you are not familiar with what body dysmorphia is, in my first video that I made of this series, I explain what it is. I will leave the link for that, possibly floating above here, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, that's how it started, and I want to say when I was like, this had to have been like either preteen or like just about to becoming like a teenager, around that age. That's when my mother started having me like take diet pills, and she was very on me about certain types of clothing I wore because she didn't want me to show the ugly fat that I had on me. That's what she called it. She had me join Weight Watchers, drinking Slim Fast and all that stuff. When I joined Weight Watchers, and I remember I actually made a status about it on Facebook. I don't remember what year it was, but I was like a kid. I was like very young, and in 1 week of me doing the Weight Watchers program, it was like pretty much all about like counting calories and pretty much monitoring your intake via calories. In 1 week I lost 10 pounds, which is not healthy at all. To lose 10 pounds in 1 week, that's not healthy. I don't remember how I stopped doing it. I think it's because my mom didn't have enough money for me to keep going, to keep being part of the membership or whatever. I think that's why I stopped doing the Weight Watchers. And it was up until a point with like my mom having me take the diet pills and everything. I actually caught her like putting like the ground up diet pills like into my food, and I knew it, and I just didn't tell her that I knew. I just went along with it because, again, my voice didn't have a lot of power. And yeah, I still struggle with it till this day, that and the body dysmorphia. of me just seeing myself as just someone that just doesn't look good, whether I got makeup on or not, whether I'm the weight that I'm at now or the smallest that I was. The smallest that I ever was like 180 or something like that. I just never thought I looked pretty in any way, shape, or form. And the anorexia, it has become more so of just like a thing of punishment that I do for myself. That the way my way of thinking is about it when it comes to just eating or food in general is that I let myself eat because I usually eat only like 2 meals a day. I'm actually not comfortable eating 3 meals a day. So if I see that I allow myself to eat like 3 meals a day and like have snacks, that it's like, okay, you ate too much. So the next day you're not gonna eat anything. So that's pretty much how my anorexia is. And then along with one of the symptoms of depression being that you have a loss of appetite, that makes it of a yeah, the anorexia being like a control thing, and the fact that one of the main things I deal with depression is loss of appetite. Like I could either go like on a binge eating thing for like 3 days, or I could not eat for 3 days. And that tie with the anorexia, it makes it more of a stronger thing to overcome, and it almost kind of gives me more of a reason to like go along with that habit. And obviously it's something that I don't want to like continue to have to live in and allow myself to go through. When my depression and anxiety started, I can honestly say I think just after being in therapy and going to different psychiatrists for as long as I've been getting that type of medical help. I've had depression and anxiety since I was like a kid. It just didn't get a name put to it until 2016. That's only a few years ago. The one thing that, some of the few things I can like really remember standing out when I look back at it now that it's like I had depression was that I always liked to be alone. I found myself to be very quiet in certain situations. I got very emotional about little things. I got irritated easily about little things. And I thought about death a lot, anything associated with death. Like I can remember like there was times where it's like I would imagine like, oh, what would it look like or feel like if I was laying in a casket? What does it feel like to be buried 6 feet under? And as I got older, those thoughts grew stronger, and them turning into dreams, which came with very vivid, very graphic images. So yeah, I would say that is how it started. For those that don't know, and like one of my first videos, I talk about how is when I like start talking about my whole journey with cancer. I was diagnosed with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. First had it in 2016. I'm currently dealing with it again for my 3rd time. And it has not been easy at all to deal with it, especially in the climate that we are in now with COVID. and the fact that I have a very weak immune system. I am immunocompromised. I have to get my treatments in isolation. Even before COVID became a thing, I was already getting my treatments that way, because my doctors are well aware of how just very vulnerable my immune system is and how I can easily catch any type of infection, and I just have to be under close watch, closed treatment. The type of treatment that I receive now for it is called IV drip treatment. Pretty much an IV needle is inserted into my arm, or it could be inserted in your hand or your chest. I get it in my arm, and I get my medications. I take two different types of chemo medication at the moment, along with an antibiotic, an antifungal, and a steroid. And along with that, I get blood platelet transfusions. Because the type of cancer that I have, it does deal with the blood. It deals with the B cell, which is why it's in the name. The B cell is a type of cell that is specifically in the bone marrow. That is specifically in the bone marrow, and that cell is supposed, the main role of that cell is supposed to like fight off like the bad type of antibiotics or anything that can get in the system. In my case, it mutated and it turned into a cancer cell. And what makes that very difficult is the fact that it is in the blood system, so it can spread everywhere throughout the body. So the main areas that it affects for me is pretty much my joints and my muscles. I am always in a lot of pain. So I have to do kind of extra care when I am at home to take care of the pain, along with the steroid for pain that they give me when I go to my chemotherapy treatments twice a month. I don't experience those feelings often. They come and go. It's like they come like, not to sound like corny saying this, but they come like once in a blue moon is what it feels like to me. Like I could be in an episode of depression for months, and in that episode I will have like a few like good days, and my good days compared to other people can be seen as just like regular everyday things for other people. Like today, a good day, today was a good day for me, and yesterday too. That is like I got up and I showered and I brushed my teeth, and I actually had the will and energy and cared enough to like drink enough water today. And for me to even be recording this video and to put on some decent looking clothing instead of the same clothing that I've been sleeping in for the past few days. That is what a good day is for me. And even in those good days, like the depression doesn't leave. Like it's in the back of my mind. It's like a little cloud that's just hovering, or like with the weather forecast. Like every day is different. So like on what I described for me as a good day is like partly cloudy, but then other days it could be like very cloudy with like no sun. Then there could be those really bad days where it's like thunderstorm, hail, lightning, like all that stuff. So those feelings, I don't really experience them that much. And when I do, it is very short-lived. It is hard to be in the moment of joy or security or peace or anything like that when something so overwhelming and strong is always just in the background, kind of monitoring everything. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave any comments down below, thoughts about anything I said. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.